Okay, so we've been working over the past week on order of operations and doing some stuff on a 6th grade level, but we're going to go back and review just the 5th grade level without the exponents, without the negative numbers. Now for this activity, you will need some different colored pencils, pens, crayons, something. So you'll need 4 different colors. So take your first color and on your sheet of paper, write the letter P for parentheses, and then we're going to switch colors. So take your second color and write the letter E for exponents. Then take your third color and you're going to write MD for multiply and divide. And then with your last color, you're going to write AS for add and subtract. And remember, we are going to use the left to right rule. Now, if you don't have a printer, just write these down on a sheet of paper as you go, and you'll do it that way. So we're going to start out with our first color, which is the green. For me, it could be a different color for you. Doesn't matter if you did pink, purple, whatever. But taking the one that you wrote the P in, you're going to take that color, and we're going to look at this first expression or equation here. Expression. And we are going to take those parentheses, and we're going to circle them in green. So I can see that those two things need to get done first. So I would do the one on the left and then the one on the right. So we're going to go ahead and number those. Then I'm going to switch to my next color. Okay, so my next color is the blue. So I'm going to use that for exponents. Now we don't have any exponents. In fact, you won't have any exponents in the 5th grade. So we're not even going to use this one today. Now then I'm going to switch to my next color, the multiplication division. Now I do not need to look at anything that's inside the parentheses because those are already numbered. Do I see any multiplication and division? Yes, I do. I see one right there. That's going to be my third step. So we're going to use the colors to help us number this to make sure we're getting it numbered in the correct order. And then we're going to go ahead and solve. So step 1, 5 minus 3 is 2. Step 2, 8 plus 4 is 12. Now I've already done step 1 and I've already done step 2. So everything you see inside there is gone. So now let's drop down that time sign. And so I'm doing 2 times 12, and you should have gotten 24 for this first one. Okay, so going on to the next one, go ahead and write it down. Okay, so my first color was the green there. Okay, so I'm looking for parentheses. I do not have any. So I can skip over the E because we don't even have exponents. So I'm going to skip to the multiplication and division. So get out whatever color you chose for the multiplication and division step. So I'm going to look for all of the multiplication and division, and I'm going to underline it. So there's a division. There's a multiplication. So I've got 2 of them. So once I've underlined both of those, I'm going to number them left to right. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to my last color, which it looks like I'm using the black on this one. So then I'm looking for all of my addition and subtraction. So I'm finding those signs. So there's a subtraction sign and there's a plus sign, and I'm going to number that left to right as well. So I've already done steps 1 and 2. So this would be 3 and then 4. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and solve this. So our first step was this 8 divided by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. And so the 8 and the divided by 4, we've used that up. It's gone. Okay, so now we're doing 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So now we can get rid of that because that's gone. Now, especially when you have more than 2 or 3 steps, you want to rewrite it as you go. Otherwise, it's going to get really confusing. So we did not do the 12 minus. So we're going to drop that down in line. So we've got 12 minus. And then the other thing that we have not used is that plus sign. So we're going to drop that down in between those 2 numbers. Now I've done step 1, I've done step 2. So now step 3 would be on the left. It's the subtraction. So what is 12 minus 2? That is 10. And then my last step, because I've already done this, is 10 plus 6, and I would get 16. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Okay, and I've kind of run out of my colors here. So I'm going to go ahead and move it down a little bit. Okay, so P, I'm going to do in that color the parentheses. Okay, the exponents we're not even really going to do. And then I'm going to multiply or divide. And then I'm going to add or subtract. So you keep using the same colors you were using. Okay, so do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. So I'm going to circle it. Let me clean this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I do have parentheses, so that's going to be step 1. Okay, do I have any exponents? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? Yes, I actually do. That 5 that's on the outside of the parentheses, we need to put a time sign because whatever was in the parentheses happened 5 times. So that's going to be the second step, is multiplying by the 5. So now I'm going to switch to my last color. Okay, do I have any addition or subtraction? Yes, I do. It's right there, so that's going to be step 3. Okay, so step 1, 7 plus 2 is 9. Now the 5 is multiplying by that 9, and then we're going to take away the 4. So 5 times 9, that gives me 45, and then 45 minus 4 gives me 41. Okay, moving to the next one. Now, this one has a lot of stuff in it. It's got a bracket and a parentheses. So starting with your first color, whatever that was, now that bracket goes with the closing bracket. So make a big circle there and then make a smaller circle here. So you can see I've actually got 2 circles. So I would go left to right, but there is no left to right here. It's inside, outside. So I would do the inside first. So that's going to be step 1 is the 3 plus 3. And then I would multiply by the 4 because I'm doing 4 times that circle. So I've got to solve for the circle first. Okay, I don't have exponents. I don't have multiplication or division. So my next step that I would label would be this addition out here. So that's the order I'm going to go in. So 3 plus 3 is 6. And then I would do 4 times 6 and I would get 24. And then my final step, 8 plus that 24 would give me 32. Okay, moving on to the next one. So whatever your first color was, you're going to go ahead and start with that. And I've kind of lost track because it's not on the side anymore. But my first color would be parentheses, so I find my parentheses. That is step 1. Do I have exponents? No. Do I have multiplication or division? I actually have both. I have a multiplication there and a division there. So I would do it from the left to the right. So I've got that labeled now. Okay, so now I'm going to solve. First step, 8 plus 2 is 10. Second step is going to be 7 times the 10, and then I would divide by the 10. So 7 times 10 is 70, and then if I go back and divide by the 10, I'm going to end up right back at 7. Okay, next one. I'm going to try and pick up the speed a little bit because this video is getting a little long. Okay, do we have any parentheses? No. Do we have any exponents? No. Multiplication or division? No. Addition or subtraction? Yes. In fact, all of this is addition and subtraction. So I would label it from the left to the right. Notice it doesn't matter if it's addition or subtraction. They just get labeled in order because they're part of the same fact family. So I'm going to start with 12 minus 5, and that would give me 7. And then I'm going to do 7 plus the 3, and that would give me 10. And then I'm going to do 10 plus the 4, and that would give me 14. And then finally, I need to do 14 minus the 6. And if you cannot do that in your head, come over here and borrow. But 14 minus the 6 would give me 8. So you should have gotten 8 on that one. Okay, going on to the next one. Okay, do I have any parentheses? Yes, I do. I have 2. So I'm going to circle them, and I'm going to number them from the left to the right. Do I have any exponents? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? Yes, I do. There it is. That's going to be step 3. So step 1, 4 plus 2 is 6. Step 2, 4 minus 1 is 3. And then step 3 is to divide the first 2 steps. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, last problem here. Oh, almost made it in 10 minutes. Okay, do we have any parentheses? Yes, we've actually got a bracket and a parentheses. So I'm going to circle both of them. So here I would do the inside one first and then the outside because I am adding 3 to the answer of whatever goes in number 1. Do I have exponents? No. Multiplication or division? Yes, I've got a division on the outside. So step 1, 7 times 1 is 7. Step 2, I am adding 3 to that 7 and I would get 10. And then I have that 40 and I'm going to divide by the 10 and I would get 4. So hope you're successful with that today.